Hey everyone, welcome back. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are having the most greatest day ever because you deserve it. You are being the greatest version of yourself, therefore, you deserve a perfect day to match. And that is my one per motivational message for you, yes, you, and I'm so happy you arrived here. Now let's get into it. Disclosure Day. Much like the real life disclosure days that we recently had of, various files being revealed to the public, the Disclosure Day movie is nothing you haven't seen before. It is very generic, underwhelming, and forgettable. The name Steven Spielberg as the director, executive producer, almost anywhere in the title cards almost guaranteed that we, the viewers, were going to be watching cinematic gold unfold. We were going to get a unique plot, some heart, some revelation of spirit and mind. We were going to explore the what ifs of the universe. We left the theaters or our bedrooms or our couches and went outside and stared up at the night sky with childlike wonder in our hearts and in our minds, with our souls stirring, wondering what more we could explore in this vast universe. Disclosure Day offers us none of those moments or reactions. The plot itself is acceptable at best, with actors that never convince you of the validity and the plausibility of the revelation of truth that is about to be given to human society. For most of the runtime, it feels like the actors either just memorize pages of a script very quickly or are looking at a teleprompter and reading lines that were just added into the scene very quickly. Nothing feels genuine, and even for a movie, everything that we're seeing feels very staged. But I digress. Let me spin it back and run through the plot for you and let you make up your own mind. The movie begins at the most tonally awkward place for this particular film. It opens at a wrestling match where our one main character, Daniel, is basically trying to trade his kidnapped girlfriend for a knapsack, book bag, whatever you want to call it, full of 70 years worth of government files and footage of alien encounters, illegal experimentation on alien beings, reverse engineering of alien craft and technology, presidential visits to aliens. So apparently, Daniel he was a cyber criminal. Once he did his federal jail time, he was recruited by this very covert Men in Black agency that has pretty much been in business since around the time of Roswell. And then after a very embarrassing incident with President Nixon showing some kind of entertainer from like the 50s or the 60s, a live alien body, the agency went from being governmental to being privatized. So anyway, flash forward, Daniel was recruited straight out of federal prison by this covert agency to be part of I'm guessing their tech division. So Daniel, of course, is now on the run, but so we enter the story like in medias res, in the middle of the action. Daniel is trying to trade all of these secrets that he somehow managed to get out of this very high tech and super covert agency. He managed to get all of these secrets out in his knapsack, mind you. And as a result, they've kidnapped his girlfriend. We don't know this until they pull the girlfriend out of the car and they're like, hand it over, be very careful with it. And he's like, don't you hurt her? All the cliches, all the tropes. So they hand over the girlfriend and he's like, you're okay, X, Y, and Z. Again, all the tropes, all the lines you've ever seen. And at this point, now that he's got his girlfriend, he does a total, these have to be literally the dumbest Men in Black you will ever encounter. Somehow, somewhat way, he outsmarts them and he pulls out this crystal thing inside of like a little like a leather enclosure. And the lead Men in Black, this leader, is like, hey, be careful with that. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to hurt someone. And Daniel's like, listen, we're getting out of here. Everybody stand back. So he has to put on the gloves to even like touch like the enclosure that the crystal thing is out. So he starts like waving it around like a knife. So, so everybody like immediately like jumps out of the way and they're like, oh my God, he's got it. He's got it. He's going to use it on us. So anyway, him and girlfriend escape in, of course, one of the Men in Black vehicles, which somehow they can't track. Not sure how. Okay, literally, I'm serious. Like, this is like the dumbest agency. You're like, how were you in existence all this long time and not knowing how to track down your own stolen vehicle? So Daniel and girlfriend wind up at a convent. This is key and very important. We find out that girlfriend used to be a novice. If you don't know what a novice is, that means she was like a nun in training. And at some point, he's like, well, why didn't you ever tell me? And they make some kind of weird joke about like, you've slept with me, so that, I was probably a nun before. Like, it's a very weird, awkward joke. So yeah, skip that. But basically, her being a nun or a nun in training is very important to one of the themes that you can see they're trying to pull out of this movie. And I'll chat on that in a little bit. So the convent is willing to hide her. But, the head sister is like, you, Daniel, you've got to leave. We'll hide her. She's one of ours, but you're trouble. You need to bounce. So in the meantime, Daniel gets a call from Hugo. Hugo is this mysterious person. We see him, of course, so he's not that mysterious. We just don't know how he ties into everything. We find out later on that Hugo was like the number 2 at this Men in Black agency. Somehow he had some kind of like psychic connection with the alien that they have captive, and the alien changed his whole, I don't know, mental, spiritual aura such that he basically got a whole group of about 20 or so people who also worked at this same agency, including Daniel, to secretly defect, with the end game of revealing not only the secrets that the government and this agency have been keeping secret regarding extraterrestrial technology, contact, reverse engineering, illegal experimentation. The end goal also includes revealing the actual or one of the actual surviving aliens to the world. So Daniel, Hugo, 20 other agents from this MIB agency have defected, and they're building like something in the background. He's talking to Daniel, who's on the run. He's like, yeah, you got to stay on the run until we can finish everything, and then we'll bring you in and you'll know what to do in the meantime. Click. So in the background, Hugo and his people are like building this set. We don't know the end game of why they're building this mysterious like set, literally like a set, like a movie set behind them. We'll get to that in a second as we transition over to our second main character. We jump over to Margaret, who is Emily Blunt's character, who she is a lost soul. She's a weather woman, but she's having these internal yearnings that there's something deeper and closer, or maybe further away, that she needs to find. Her boyfriend, meanwhile, thinks she's cute, adorable even. And we never get a sense that he cares for her beyond a superficial level, because when it actually matters, he was totally going to like sell her out to the police, to the FBI, to whoever was going to come pick her crazy self up. So once again, Margaret's character is a weather person and she's searching for something deeper. And then one day at breakfast, a cardinal flies through her apartment window, sits on the table, stares her straight in the face, and the next thing you know, she's able to speak every single language, read people's minds, get herself out of traffic tickets by doing psychobabble, and now she stands up in front of the world and is speaking in an unknown alien dialect to everyone. Through a series of happenstance events, the main MIB guy is able to use a second version of the crystal to basically remote view and mind hack Daniel's girlfriend's mind, such that they can figure out where Daniel is. They go on this crazy run to get Daniel. He's able to again outwit them at every single turn. Him and the girlfriend escape. He parts ways with her, tells her to take the crystal. That way it'll be safe. Not sure how to be safe since, she can be mind hacked. But he tells her, go run with the crystal this way. I'm going to, let them capture me that way. And we'll meet again somehow. In the meantime, Emily Blunt's character, Margaret, is starting to come into her powers. She finds out through her newfound psychic abilities where Daniel is being held at. She goes walking right up to this hidden installation where they hold prisoners. She walks right in by using her mind skills and abilities to basically draw on all of the Men in Black agents deepest secrets and touch their heart in some kind of way. I mean, she's referencing deceased parents, little long lost little brothers and sisters, favorite friends that somebody has. And so she walks straight through. Literally, I'm not lying. She walks straight through a crowd of about 50 Men in Black agents, takes Daniel's hand, and leaves. They literally just leave. And if they're able to get to Hugo, who in the background has been building a replica of Margaret's bedroom from when she was a little girl.
And still wish you the bestest
turns out
day
Margaret
ever.
and Daniel were both
Perchance you may enjoy
taken by aliens
movie
when they
clips
were
only,
children and
which
given
I do
these special
post
ability.
as often as I
Margaret
can.
basically heart
Totally
and
random,
mind abilities,
action,
psychic abilities.
horror,
Daniel basically
sci-fi,
this infinite
some other miscellaneous things
mathematical
in between.
computation
If
abilities.
you arrived just
He's
for
able
that,
to understand what
also
the aliens are
please
saying,
hit
while
notifications
Margaret
so
is
that you
able
can
to
actually see them.
feel what the aliens are saying. The
Because
goal here
sometimes
being
this
that
platform will
they
totally
want
not
Margaret
blast them out to
basically
anyone.
bypass
And that is
the
my one
childhood
per
trauma of being
self-promo.
kidnapped by aliens,
Now,
such
let's
that
get back
she
to
can
the
accept in her heart
Let's talk
that they
about
have given
Disclosure
her
Day.
these amazing
Honest
gifts,
reaction?
so that she can
All right,
go
let me run it all the way
before the
back. I saw
world
this
and
movie about
reveal
2 weeks
the
ago,
presence
and
of
it totally
extraterrestrial
dropped
life
out of my
to
mind probably
humanity.
within
That is
30
literally
minutes
the
of me
point
walking
of
out
them
of the theater.
recreating
I
her
find
bedroom.
that
Why they didn't recreate Daniel's bedroom, since he was also kidnapped by aliens on the same day as Margaret. They were literally in the same room at the same time, with the aliens being implanted with these gifts at the same time. They literally held hands while they were laying on the tables and being implanted by the aliens. So why we needed to recreate Margaret's bedroom and not Daniel's bedroom, again, so many things are not explained. Fill in the blank with whatever answer makes sense to you. So she and Daniel hold hands while they both travel back through the replica of her childhood bedroom to the night when they were both kidnapped by the aliens. Once the revelation that, they share this profound link, him being the mathematical part, her being the spiritual part, they come out of the memory, they look over to each other and they go, whoa, what? Yeah, they literally look at each other and go, whoa. So Margaret stands up triumphantly. She has this serene look upon her face and literally accepts her gifts. That was it. That was all. Nothing amazing happens except that she now accepts that she is this special conduit for the alien psychic heart and spirituality. That's it. That's all, folks. That's what all this trouble and Home Depot construction was for Margaret to go, I accept who I am. And for Daniel to hold her hand and look at her while they go, whoa. Margaret, who is the only person who can actually touch the crystal with her bare hands, is able to cloak herself, Daniel, all the rogue agents, the the fire engine they're about to escape in, as the men in black flood into the warehouse where all of this was being staged. They evade them by basically creating a diversion tactic. One fire engine goes one way, the other one goes the other way. Of course, they're cloaked, so it takes a while for the men in black to actually catch up to their trail. They get to the studio, the new studio that Margaret works for. Daniel still has his knapsack full of goodies. They upload everything to the live feed of Kansas City news, which links over to like New York, and New York is like blasted out to the world. And we see the unraveling, the unveiling of Disclosure Day. The main MIB guy gets there with his henchmen. He sees that the world is stunned by what's being revealed to them, and he gives up. He sits down and he gives up and he lets the revelation proceed. It is at this point that we finally find out what Daniel's true function and purpose is in the middle of all of this. Pay close attention because you really don't want to miss this part. And I'm totally joking with you because Daniel serves no real function and purpose in the next 5 minutes of what's going to happen. The files are streamed to the world. The alien comes out in a wheelchair and stands up and reveals itself to the world. The alien leans over, speaks in its language to Daniel. Daniel takes that language, goes to Margaret, whispers the translation in her ear. Margaret goes over to the camera, stands before the world, and goes, listen. Cut to black, credits, theater lights come up. What? Keep in mind that up to this point, Margaret has been able to speak every single language. She has also been shown to be the heart and the empath connection to the aliens. But suddenly she actually spoke the language earlier in the movie. However, she doesn't understand it. Only Daniel understands it. So all his math skills meant nothing. His only purpose was translating their language, which he doesn't speak. So quickly running back to a plot point that was kind of glossed over, kind of thrown out there, is that Daniel's girlfriend, who was originally studying to be a nun, her purpose is to serve as the bridge between people who both want to be a God-believing person, but also believe in extraterrestrial life. She serves as the bridge between both sides of that believership, believer in God who created humans, and also a person who wants to believe in additional life floating around or existing in the universe. That is her only function in this whole movie. I also want to give credit to the actress who played the female news reporter who was narrating the live stream of the secret documentation and film footage that Daniel and Margaret brought to the studio, which went from Kansas City to New York and to the world. Her mannerisms, her shock, her awe, her confusion, her elation were us, what we wanted to feel on that real Disclosure Day. Maybe when I watch this at home, I'll be able to pull more depth out of this movie other than it feeling like a cash grab for people who are true believers in the what if. The what if we are not alone, the what if God or the greater being created more than just us. This is definitely not another Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It comes nowhere near the high tier that that movie set. Final result, you won't be missing out on anything if you decide to just wait until this streams on one of the at-home platforms and saving yourself a couple dollars or a couple movie credits. Hope this review helped. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.